a few seconds, we should be on air. And then let me go ahead and share my screen, and we will get started. Here for you.
3 seconds, we should be
you are live now.
on air. And let me...
You're live now.
All right. So with that said,
Oh, Chris,
Yes.
if you don't want to lead it, Jasmine, we've voluntold Jasmine. So if you want to
Okay.
do it, or if you want to do it.
yeah, I'll handle the screen sharing and YouTube and stuff, and Jasmine can take over then if that's the case.
Jasmine, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay.
So I'll call this meeting to order at 12:09 p.m. and we will start with the land acknowledgement. Is that correct?
I
Yep,
believe
just
it's
follow-
attendance.
Oh, okay. We'll establish quorum first, and then we'll move forward with the land acknowledgement. So if I can get Christopher to, if I can get Chris to say he's here.
Yeah, here.
VP of Academic Affairs, Christina.
Here.
VP of Student Services, Luis.
Here.
VP of Business Affairs, Michael.
Here.
VP of Campus Activities, Alex.
Here.
VP of Student Equity, Jasmine, I am here. VP of Public Relations, Phyllis. All right. We'll do an abstention for now. Vice President for External Affairs, Kelly.
Here.
Vice President of Sustainability, Emmanuel.
Present.
Chief Justice, Kyle.
Present.
Student Trustee, David. All right, and we have established a roll call. We will move forward with the land acknowledgement. Can you scroll down a little bit, Chris? Oh, all right. So we start to acknowledge that this is the institution that sits on native land is from the Hakamanga tribe, and we honor the stewards of the land as well as the present occupants of the land, and we acknowledge that this is stolen land, and we will offer a moment of silence. Thank you, and we will move forward with the approval of the agenda for November 18th, 2020. Can we just get an overview of the agenda, please, Chris, just to verify that everything is correct and accurate?
Sure. So items, board reports, and no action items, but a lot of discussion items for today.
Just a note for the minutes, Philly has arrived.
Awesome. Philly, can you establish your presence, please? Philly, can you say here?
I'm here.
Thank you. All right. So is there a motion to approve the agenda for November 18th, 2020?
I move approval.
I second.
I second. Oh.
Fine.
First by David, second by, did I hear Emmanuel or Christina?
I think it was me.
Okay, thank you. We'll move forward with the approval of the minutes for October 28th, 2020.
Roll call vote for agenda, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, roll call vote for the approval of the agenda. We'll start with Executive Vice President Christopher.
Here. Aye. Sorry.
Thank you, Chris. Vice President for Academic Affairs, Christina.
Aye.
Okay, Luis.
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Alex.
Aye.
Philly,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Emmanuel,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
David.
Aye.
All right, and the motion passes unanimously. We will move forward with the approval of minutes for the October 28th agenda.
I move to table to next meeting as recommended by Francis.
I do have the minutes pulled up, but if people want to move forward with a table, we can also do that if everyone agrees.
Okay. Should we vote on?
You have a motion to table by David Ramirez. If it doesn't get a second, the motion dies. And then you can offer a request for approval.
Okay, do I get a second motion to move this item or agenda?
To table the minutes till next week.
Oh, to table the minute until,
That's what you said, David, right?
Yeah.
I second.
awesome, second by Christina.
Why would we be motioning to table?
As
So
Francis,
this is a good lesson in procedure. You have a motion, you have a second. Now technically you go into discussion. So when the chair says discussion, this is when Kyle brings that up and you can all ask these questions. And at a certain point, the chair can either decide how long the discussion should go, or you can go with, you don't have that policy yet about how long you want to talk about things because you usually don't have problems. But so if the chair wants to call for discussion on an item, then you can have this discussion.
is it okay if I answer that question?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as Francis mentioned in the email, they said that they don't have the correct names for the minutes. So I don't know who was supposed to send that in, but we should just get that correct information on our minutes since that's a record of what happens at our meeting. So
Okay, moving forward, should we do we have any other discussions or anything else?
If the chair sees no discussion, you can move to a vote.
All right. Is it okay to move on for a
Mhm.
All right, so we are voting on the tabling of the agenda for October 28th, 2020. Can I start with Vice President Christopher?
So point of order, Ms. Madam Chair. It's you're voting to table the minutes from October 28th, not the agenda.
Oh, okay, the minutes for October 28th, 2020. Can we start with Christopher?
Aye.
Christina?
Aye.
Luis?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Alex?
Aye.
Philly?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye. Sorry. Aye.
All right, Emmanuel?
Aye.
Kyle?
Aye.
And David?
aye.
All right, the agenda has been, or the minutes for October 28th have been tabled for next meeting. And we will move forward with the approval of the minutes for November 4th, 2020. Thank you, Chris.
So these are the minutes from the 4th. Everyone wants to take a look at it.
All right, and we will move forward with the approval of the minutes. If there is no further discussion or any discussion.
So you can entertain a motion to see what your group wants to do.
Oh, okay. Can I get a motion to approve or move?
I move approval.
I second.
All right, first by David, second by Christina. We'll go ahead and move forward with the vote. Or with
It
the
was
vote.
actually Louise. Sorry.
And it's Kyle. So it's moved by Kyle, second by Louise.
Oh, moved by Kyle, second by Louise. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're doing an awesome job. This is very procedural and you're doing really well. No one else has had to do this.
All right. So we will move forward with a roll call vote, or right?
Mhm.
Okay, we'll start with Chris,
Aye.
Christina,
I.
Luis,
I.
Michael,
Aye.
Alex,
Aye.
Philly,
Aye.
Kelly,
I.
Emmanuel,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Thank you. We have approved the minutes for November 4th, and we will move forward with board reports. And should we start with Chris?
Go to item 2.
Oh, where's item 2? Oh, is there any public comments on non-agenda items? This
I
is
do
the
not.
moment to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see any on the YouTube. Again, there is a lag, so if there is any, I guess I can let you all know.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. We will move forward from that now, but please let us know if there are any additional comments. And then we will move forward with line 3, introductions and board reports. And we will start our board report with Chris.
Hi, everyone. So let me take off my camera here. So the final ICC meeting for the semester, I've determined to be this Friday, just so I can give everyone kind of a chance to catch up on their homework and to prepare for their finals. During that meeting, I'll be talking about ICC in terms of what they will be doing for spring 2021. So, if you want to join in on that, that will be this Friday. In terms of ICC, I've continued to answer questions about funding, and I think a new club is trying to register. So, things are kind of winding down, but I'm still here and present for clubs. So if you know anybody that, wants to start a new club or is part of a club that has questions, my door is still open. I communicated with Crystal here about following up on the privacy survey that the privacy working group and I have been working on here in AS. And she is here today. Thank you, Crystal, for coming and taking time out of your busy day to join us. And she will talk about that during a discussion item later during the meeting. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Oh, one more thing. I helped Candace out with getting some publicity and some folks in to discuss and join in on the technology working group and what they want in terms of feedback from students. So yeah, that's my committee report, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We will move forward with Luis.
Everyone. All right. So this week I attended the transfer panel by Christina, of course, and that was really great. I had my first committee meeting last Friday, and that was really fun. We got to play a little bit of Among Us together and kind of just get to know each other. What else? I've been working on Holiday Angels activities and finals relaxation, which of course are still under decision, like under different decisions, but I'm still planning for those, and we'll see how that goes, as well as looking to include the study hall for finals during finals relaxation week. I know that just got approved, but still tentative, of course. And in terms of committee reports, I have the College Council meeting tomorrow and the IEC meeting on Friday. So if anyone wants to let me know what I should say during those, let me know before then. And that's all.
Thank you, Luis. We will move forward with Michael. Michael, the board reports that you that you filled out in the document. Talk about your finance committee and your budget.
Oh, I'm sending out the finance committee application, and I also shared the budget with all the other board members. And that's all.
Awesome, thank you. We will move forward with Alex.
Hello. Oh wait, we have a meeting last week. So Spirit Week went really well. We had a really good turnout to all the events throughout the week. And hopefully no one as of yet, got sick from it. So that's even a better upside. We successfully launched a Discord that's like been in use here and there to advertise events and like just chill. I went to Louise's committee meeting. It was really fun. What else did I do? I'm working on payment right now for all the things for Spirit Week, but there was an error, so I had to fix that. Now I'm back at it, and then me and my committee are planning hopefully an event in early winter, and then also Holiday Angels in some capacity to help out Louise. I think that's all I have for this week. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex. We will move forward with Philly.
I'd only like to report 3 things. The first is that I contacted the former VP of Public Relations for the new and updated publicity committee application, and I uploaded that to Lancer Life, so I'm hoping that I can start looking for committee applicants soon. Second, I updated the master document for the next public relations position. And lastly, I helped Christina out yesterday with the transfer panel, and her event went really well. There was around 51 participants, which is very surprising considering that we advertised around 2 days earlier. And it was really good. I'm really proud of Christina, and thanks for all the other people that came.
Awesome, thank you, Philly. Kelly.
Kelly, me? Yes, so I think, let's see, it's been about 2 weeks. We had a lobby committee meeting. That one went pretty well. We just did our planning for what we want to do for this academic semester and also for next year. And we kind of narrowed down from a really broad place. Specifically, I'm getting into contact with Crystal, and we are analyzing the data to just kind of really focus in on what students really want. So we don't want to take that responsibility of interpreting things that we don't understand. But yeah, that's the main thing.
Thank you, Kelly. And we'll move on with David.
Give me 1 sec. All right. Hello, everyone. I just want to thank everyone who came to the Board of Trustees meeting. That was a really great introductory conversation on diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is a conversation that we as students, we as the representative body of students, we're going to be having to have this conversation for many years, right? Because this is work that's not just like something that dies with us. This is a part of an effort that's going to take a long time to have, our campus culture and the faculty and the administration that serve us to be reflective and to be responsive to the student needs that we have. So that was really exciting to see. And they're going to have that as a standing item. So hopefully as time goes on, and as we develop more ideas and recommendations, we can add on to that conversation. So that was great. I also attended the transfer panel. That was really awesome. Congrats to Christina and everyone involved. The content and the attendance, it was amazing. So that was awesome to see. The CCLC annual convention is going on right now, and a lot of important information and updates are being given at the moment. And so I've been attending that all day and all yesterday, and tomorrow and Friday I'll try to also look at what's going on. But yeah, I'll relay my takeaways later on and try to implement that in the work that we're doing. I was also just appointed to a committee within the statewide academic senate, so the academic senate of California Community Colleges, into the career and technical education leadership committee, and that provides recommendations for career and technical education programs across the state. And so I'll be providing student input and working with PCC's liaison and hopefully Christina on that, try to get just general input into that, because our career and technical education, that's what students rely on in order to get jobs, and living wage jobs here in the workforce in LA, and that is very impactful for our students. And the way that we approach our programs, that we need to be thinking about the holistic barriers that students face. So that's definitely very important work. And I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. And Kyle.
Okay. So this week or these last 2 weeks technically, I attended the Board of Trustees meeting that David invited us all to, and I introduced myself. I can only say at the beginning because I had another meeting, but it was really good from what I saw. It was very well structured. We all had great introductions, and I was very happy with how everything went down in the beginning, at least. And I was heard that your diversity panel went really well as well. So everything sounded good on that front. I also attended Christina's transfer panel yesterday, and that was also really good. I think there was great information that was provided to students, especially on real world application, about how their applications will fit in, how do they plan for their future, and what's the best fit, instead of just looking at prestige. I thought all those things were very well highlighted and were very impactful. I held my second Supreme Council meeting this morning at 9 a.m. Way too early, but we worked on the emergency clause. We also worked on the Business Affairs Amendment, and we're hopefully going to be finalizing the Business Affairs Amendment next week, and then or 2 weeks from now, and then it's going to be moved to the board for final approval. And I was also helping with the university night in conjunction with the transfer center tonight. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. So I'd advocate that you all show up to it, because there's going to be a bunch of different universities there. And it's also going to be great to help students to understand exactly what they have access to and the different options are after PCC. And I'm also going to be attending the statewide student aid panel that's put on by the SSCCC, and I'll be PCC's representative there. And I will put a report about that after it occurs. And I will come back and tell the students exactly what happened with that and how exactly that's going to impact them, especially with COVID, limiting the financial aid and changing the requirements surrounding that. So also on district committee end, I attended the district education committee, and we discussed the limitations on our current evaluation standards and the new online courses, and began drafting new guidelines to combat those pitfalls. Essentially, in the distance education committee, they noted that our previous standards for online distance education, they were very myopic in the sense that there was only really one option for online. It was either online or offline, but now we have synchronous Zoom classes, we have asynchronous or non-synchronous Zoom classes, we have hybrid classes that are starting to be becoming more mainstream. All these new options require new guidelines. So we're creating new guidelines surrounding that. And I will update you guys if we change anything significantly. And I also attended the strategic planning committee, and we discussed our core values and approved our vision statement. Our vision statement is currently circulating around the different committees, and it should reach us at some point. And so you guys can see exactly what we're going to be putting forth and be working under. So that's all the reports I have. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Kyle. Moving forward with Emmanuel.
Hello, everyone. I would like to report that I attended the Board of Trustees meeting on November the 10th, where we joined student trustee David Ramirez in a discussion he led along with VP of Equity Jasmine Lopez regarding the DEI at PCC. I shared some of my experiences, concerns, and objectives regarding transparency and accountability when attempting to file a grievance for class misconduct. Requested assistance in understanding what protocols available for quality assurance. I also met with the Sustainability Standing Committee member, Kathy, to gather information for our shared governance meeting. We aim to assist facilities in improving our campus sustainability. Also, I attended the Sustainability Standing Committee meeting this past Monday. We discussed the STARS program, which is a sustainability tracking and assessment, sustainability tracking, assessment, and rating system, as well as the carbon pledge draft. Also attended the Facility Standing Committee, where we discussed committee goals and facility master plan progress up to date. I will be attending the Health and Safety Standing Committee tomorrow at 11 a.m. And for AS Sustainability Committee, I held 2 interviews this past week. Also, I've been working on a project prototype for the first official event I'm planning, where my goal is to provide grow boxes for students that are interested. I'm currently working on a budget to propose for approval. And this week's A Sustainability Committee meeting is being postponed due to some meeting time conflicts. That is all. Thank you.
All right, if we can have Christina share her board reports, please.
All right, cool. Hi, everyone. So at the beginning of the week, I was involved with our assistant superintendent, vice president of instruction interviews, and that was a very long process, but we have sent our finalists over, and hopefully that should be approved, and we get a new vice president of instruction soon that we can, that hopefully I get to bring on to one of our meetings to be introduced. Next, after that, I went to the Board of Trustee meeting and did a little introduction, and shout out to Jasmine and Emmanuel for, creating a presentation in a really short notice. That was really great. Next, planning the alumni transfer panel. Everything worked out really well. I was honestly really surprised of the turnout, and I hope that everyone got a lot of information. I'm super grateful that everyone also showed up as well. That was really fun, and hopefully, everyone's college applications are doing well, because I know that apps are due in 12 days. So for the UCs, if you're applying, and I'll have my first academic commission meeting next Tuesday from 1 to 2, I believe, and that would be really fun. But yeah, and I've also been meeting with Louise for finals relaxation week, and we have a lot of things planned. So, but yeah, that's my board reports.
Thank you so much, Christina. So I'll go ahead and share my own board reports before we move to advisor board reports. So I did attend Christina's transfer panel, which went really, really well, and it was very inspiring, actually. So shout out to Christina and Phyllis. Amazing teamwork. And then I did attend and took part in facilitating the presentation for diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I would suggest that we kind of do another presentation amongst ourselves to really dive into these topics, because I don't think that we have had these in discussion so much. And I think when we talk about equity, it's something that's constantly changing, and it looks different for different individuals. So I think that that's something really important that we followed through with, as David mentioned. Another thing that I attended was the Student Success Committee. And in that committee, a lot of things came up, and we went over our mission or our goals for the year. And so those will be determined very soon, and I'll go ahead and share those with you all as soon as they're all set in stone. And they also brought in presentations from the different equity programs on campus that specifically target Black scholars. And that is also something that was a lot more eye-opening to me, because it doesn't seem like there's been much progress other than in the last 3 years. And I would hope to see that we keep that progress continuing, because we are all, we should all be entitled to our education, and not only to enroll, but also be successful in our educational journeys. And so I was really, really happy to see that PCC has done a great job within the last 3 years. And I hope to continue that work within the student engagement. And that concludes my own board reports. We can move forward with Carrie.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all. First
We
of all,
have
great job.
we have a financial report. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, financial report is B.
All
So
right.
So you've all never done this before, so you don't know what to do. Basically, at this point, Michael, you've sent out the financial report to everybody. And if everyone has taken a look at that and agrees with it, it's just like an approving an agenda item. So Michael can move approval, or someone can make a motion to approve it, and you vote on it just as if it's a regular action item.
I move to accept the report.
A second.
All right, we'll move forward with a roll call vote, correct?
Yes.
Let me go ahead and show it on the screen just so for posterity's sake so that people know what it looks like. But this is the report.
Awesome, thank you, Chris. All right, is there any questions, comments, further discussion? Okay, so we will move forward with the roll call vote. Can we start with Alex?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Kyle?
Aye.
Thank you. Christina?
Aye.
Emmanuel?
Aye.
Billy?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Luis?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
And Kelly?
Aye.
All right, so the financial report has been approved. We can move forward with advisor reports. And I'll pass the mic to Carrie.
All right, so a couple things. Michael, please make sure that you send a copy of this to Francis because it needs to be included in the minutes and it'll be sent out. And then Philly, we need to talk about you talking with IT because we need to have a separate tab. Part of the new policies we need to do is we need to show our budgets need to be open to the public for examination. So we'll need to work on getting that on the website. But again, all of you, kudos to all of you. It's been hard. I know it's been hard. I'm struggling in school and work, and so to see you all working and functioning and doing the business of students, I think has been fantastic. So I've been so proud of you all. The events that have happened, Spirit Week, and then I'm going to call out Christina, who was like so afraid. I loved yesterday's event, 51 people, and it was some great questions. I had to leave because I had to go to Alex's thing, but I bet you probably could have gone for 2 hours because folks really wanted some good information, and your speakers were awesome. They were just like, they knew their stuff, and they got some really good information that I hadn't heard. So I was just like, that was fantastic. So you all should be very, very proud of what you do. And show that off because you all have recorded a lot of these things on YouTube. You know, maybe that's one of the things that you work on over winter is that we figure out a way how to curate that and that we can showcase that so folks can go back and look at that activities and that information. We've done a lot of stuff about mental health and about depression and about transfer and suicide. And I think those are all fantastic things that folks can still find useful. So again, kudos to all of you. Congratulations. I know if you feel like you're struggling or you're not getting anywhere, I just want to let you know you all are. You're doing really fantastic. So I'm really so happy with you all. I hear what's happening up and down the state with my other colleagues, and I'm like, don't got that issue. You all are really great. So take that to heart. And you know, you've had a lot of things go on, and it's been a busy month. We're coming into the final stretch. I need you all to be focused on your grades. You all need to finish strong. You all need to be strong in your schoolwork and concentrate on that. So don't forget, it's always okay to put school first and say, no, I need to take care of this. I think we all understand that at this point. We're coming up on application season. Like Christina said, it's like 12 days away. Don't forget that when you start filling all that stuff out, that you want to be mindful about if you have to ask for recommendations. I know some private schools are not really asking that until January or February when the Common App is due if you're applying to private schools. So, but please be mindful now that everyone's doing a lot with COVID, so you might want to start approaching your recommendation folks early, especially now with all the stuff that you've done with AS. I think that's, you know, you don't want to leave that out. So, couple other things. Oh, really, I don't have a whole lot other than you guys are doing awesome. I love the BOT. That was a great conversation. And let's see, next week I am on vacation. I am taking some days off to finish up my schoolwork strong. So some of you have scheduled appointments. I'll honor those appointments. But unless it's a real emergency, I'm on vacation for all of that. So we're also working on finals relaxation week and holiday angels. We have a lot of questions right now. I think things are really fluid because we don't know where we're going with COVID. So that's kind of the scary thing. We're not sure what that's going to look like. So like I told all of you, you know, just be prepared, be safe, make good choices, please, all of you. I know holidays are coming up and you want to be with family. I want to be with family, but I think we need to think about, you know, your health. We've done so much to self-isolate. We've given up so much in-person class. You've given up so much. Let's not, you know, prolong this anymore. We've done all this work. Let's keep it going. So keep it strong. So that's all I have. Thank you.
So I have a little, for one, I want to start and say, I echo Carrie's kudos to you all for really just keep continuing to just move forward, right? I mean, after everything, you know, it seems like we peak one week and then it's quiet, right? And then, and all the time, whatever is going on, you all are just moving forward, doing what you need to do. And I appreciate that. And I know the campus and your constituents appreciate that. I've heard only good things as I go to these different meetings about your involvement in the meetings, and people really appreciate that. They appreciate you speaking up. They appreciate you advocating for students, and they are really happy to have you as part of those shared governance or participatory governance meetings. So I just want you to know you are having a positive impact, not only on students, but on the campus community as a whole. You know, I mean, literally just talking to folks yesterday about, they know your names, they appreciate you being present and giving, and it's not just speaking up, but really giving thoughtful input. You're not rubber stamping things, you're asking really good questions and giving really thoughtful input as equal partners in the decision-making on campus. So contributing to that. So keep doing that, you know, maintain your own well-being as well. So questions about the drive-through event. I know Carrie was texting me, and I'm glad my other meeting ended early so I could join you and give you some information. So I know the college is working on scaling back some intended events, and I was able to talk to Candace about the study hall. And as far as I know right now, that is going to be on hold for the remainder of this semester. And Crystal can correct me if I'm wrong on that part. But she wanted to be able to tell you in person or tell you directly, but don't give up on it. She says that you all have, contributed, and I know, to that notion, to the idea and concept of the study hall. But she said, and she's right, we're gonna be in this situation in winter and spring as well. So there is another opportunity for us to actualize the study hall. But it doesn't look like with the increase in surge that's going to happen this semester. Okay. So I just wanted you to know that. But in regard to the drive-through events, that's going to be up to you and your decision making. What I have heard and understand is that so far that's okay. We can proceed with the drive-through events that are planned, primarily because we have exclusively no contact drive-through events. And I think it would be a great service as long as you all are comfortable with continuing to do that. We make sure that everybody continues to follow the protocol we put in place, wearing the I don't know what they're called, the shields, the face shields, and the masks and gloves and social distancing. As long as we maintain what we've been doing and what you've been doing thus far, the college is okay with us completing, or okay with you all continuing with those drive-through events. As long as, putting whatever we're giving away in trunks, or using the cart, or using the tray, as long as there's no contact. And you have been doing that really well. And you've been very conscientious of that. So whatever we have planned for that, we still, as of this moment, have the go-ahead to do that. So if that was a question for you all. But I also know that people have individual situations and concerns, and I think those need to be your own personal choices about how you participate in that. However, if the activity is dependent on you to move forward and you're not comfortable with that, that needs to be a broader discussion, certainly with Carrie or myself or Jordan, as well as the rest of the team, on how that impacts that event. Okay. And I know students continue to appreciate that, as we've seen an increase in the number of students who are participating in your drive-through events. I think they've been extraordinarily successful. And I think, you know, we're really trying to balance safety with continuing to connect or provide opportunities for students to remain connected and engaged with the college, which is equally important to students' health and well-being and feeling like they have a community still as we are experiencing the surge. So I think that's primarily what I wanted to report on. I kind of feel, there are upcoming events. I know the Cross Cultural Center is planning a volunteer fair November 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Of course, it's a virtual event, and it's a partnership between the Cross Cultural Center and the Freeman Center. So I think that's for folks who want to do something else or get engaged in a different way within their communities, that's a perfect opportunity for you to do so. And it's great on a resume as you're considering transferring and potential internship opportunities. That's a great way to build on that. So I think that's all I have. I'm trying to think, I feel like I've been to so many meetings that didn't get an opportunity before joining to make my list of things, but I think that's the main thing about the drive-through events and where we are. Other things that I know in student services we had planned to try to implement in terms of drive-through student services, all of that is on hold right now. So continue to encourage students to utilize the virtual and remote services that are offered and the virtual student success center as well, primarily as a immediate triage location. That's it for me.
Thank you, Dean Cobb, and congratulations on your dissertation. I know we haven't seen you in a while.
Thank you.
Jordan, do you have any advisory reports?
No, I'll respect our guest time. You all are doing great. Let me know if you all need anything. I'm available through email or through text.
Thank you so much, Jordan. All right, and we can move forward with the shared governance discussion regarding action items. So seeing there's no action items, we can move forward to discussion items. All right, and our first discussion item is the privacy policy. It is recommended that the executive board members discuss the privacy policy, and that is going to be facilitated by Stephanie F. You can go ahead and take the floor.
I'm looking through the participant list, and it's hard because Mackenzie isn't here, but was Stephanie notified and given the link?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So we'll have to put her, I will do that right now. Can I put her on the next meeting?
Yeah, if you want, see if you can, I was going to say, yeah, we'll ask Francis if they can put this back. If ACE will table it, and you table it, we'll come back the next meeting. Or I don't know if Stephanie is free right now, if we can hit her up really quick.
You don't usually pop in to tell a dean to come into a meeting.
Yeah. So Jasmine, AS, what I would recommend is that you table this item. And just as a reminder, when you table items, they technically come back the following week. So let's make sure this comes back.
Are you all meeting next Wednesday? I just want to make sure.
Oh, crap. I don't know. It's the Wednesday of Thanksgiving. Do you all want to meet? Well, we'll talk about that, but someone needs a table.
So let me know before I send her the link and the invitation for when that next time will be, okay?
So right now, what you all need to do is someone needs to motion to table this.
A
Can I be the
motion.
first?
Can I go ahead and make the motion?
Yep.
I motion to table discussion item A with discussion with Stephanie to the next to our next meeting.
Second.
All right, first by Manuel, second by Michael. We can move forward with a roll call vote. Is that correct, Carrie?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Alex?
Aye.
Thank you. Kyle? Kyle?
Unmute. Wouldn't unmute, sorry. Yes. Aye.
Thank you. All right. Philly?
Aye.
Christina?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Luis?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
And Kelly?
Aye.
Awesome. So the motion moves to table this discussion item regarding the privacy policy for our next meeting.
Sorry, I
Which is-
didn't get to vote.
Okay. Emmanuel
Aye.
and Michael.
Aye.
Moving forward, the privacy policy is tabled for the next agenda, which will be determined shortly. We will be moving forward with the discussion item B, the privacy survey with Crystal. You can go ahead and take the floor, Crystal.
Hi, sorry. Can you hear me? Yes, good.
Yes.
Excellent. So Chris asked me to come back. I believe I sent out a link for the survey for you folks to go through, and I was hoping I was coming here today to get your feedback and see how you wanted to proceed. So go ahead, just shout out really fun things at me. It's good.
Awesome. Can we take a look at the survey, please, Chris?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you for joining us, Crystal. We're just going to pull up the.
Sure.
okay. So this is the survey here. And I don't know if you want to go ahead and maybe first walk through this or maybe talk about where we are in the progress of in terms of sending this out. I know Stephanie's presence here might have been a good compliment in terms of maybe knowing where the administration is in terms of having a policy out. So I'm not sure which one we want to start out with. Crystal, I know you're kind of the master of this survey here, so.
Oh no, master of nothing. Trust me on that one. Well, I know a little bit about what came out of the chancellor's office, which was talking about the legality of professors requiring you to keep your cameras on in a synchronous Zoom session, and then recording it. So I know we've been given some guidelines on that. And I'm thinking that Stephanie was going to talk about how they're trying to get that information out to faculty. The survey that I did for you here, which I call a simplified survey, yeah, just throw in anything you want there and go on. So the tricky part about this was putting in the questions that you wanted, and then of course putting in the appropriate skip patterns to let students skip out a question so they don't have to go through everything based on how they answer. So if you click yes on this one, it's going to take you to all the questions about synchronous class instruction. We all know the difference, right, between synchronous and asynchronous, right? Yeah, good. And I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't think the administration has any idea of the number of faculty who are doing synchronous as opposed to those who are doing asynchronous. That's really hard for us to monitor. So we might actually get some information about that. So there you go. So you can answer the questions. Takes you on. And then here it says, if they didn't record any of your synchronous class sessions, that will take you down a separate road. It'll actually bump you out of the section. If you say yes, if you go ahead and click yes there, it's going to take you to a different set of questions, and it's going to ask you how you felt about that.
So I know this is focused here on professors recording class sessions and then
Does somebody else
possibly
do it?
subsequently like posting it, but I also maybe I haven't gone too far in the survey yet, but Proctorio I think also is another concern.
Yeah, I get to the proctorial questions later on. I have a whole series of questions on those. This is just
Okay.
about the basic class sessions that are done synchronously.
Okay.
So I might not have covered everything because to be honest with you, I am not familiar with Proctorio at all, but I did read through all of the student comments that you had for me, Chris. And so I tried to pull some of my statements from there for them to answer. But if you keep going, we can go on to the Proctorio set. Yeah, great. And then you get an opportunity to answer that. Okay, so here you go. So if they say no, I'm not going to ask them any specific questions about what happened to them with Proctorio, but I do have some general questions for them. But why don't we look at the yes ones first? And there you will see I have a whole series of questions asking them about their experience using the proctoring software.
Okay. So taking maybe a closer examination at some of these questions. Let me see here. Proctoring software. And obviously other AS members can chime in on this too if they are taking a look at this and have any concerns or questions or anything. Well, required to have a account at the share screen, browsing history ID.
Sorry, did you say something, Chris?
No, I'm still reading through this. I think the way it currently sits in terms of how the questions are laid out, it's very well done, and I appreciate the work that was put in translating what we wanted or what we desired into a format like this. Yeah, I personally don't have any concerns. I think this was translated very well. I don't know if any of the other AS members have any questions about this, or if they have experienced Proctorio firsthand, if there's a missing gap here that we didn't account for.
Yeah, I haven't used Proctorio, so I don't know how to.
So go back to the previous question, Chris, and answer no, because you should get a different set of questions. So answer no. And now if you didn't use it, you're going to get this question.
Okay, got it. Interesting.
I would say for folks that don't know what Proctorio is, maybe we can indicate some type of like description on what it is and how we can inform the students that don't know what it is in this area.
Yeah, if anybody can give me a description, that would be awesome, because I'm totally not familiar with it. I just used the bank of questions you gave me, and I looked at some of the comments that you gave me, and it wasn't you, that you collected from students, and that's what I used. But I'm not familiar with this at all. I've heard things, but I mean, I can ask Stephanie or Dr. Junie to kind of give me an idea of how it works. And if you go back one more question, Chris. Yeah, I could put something here.
Yeah, I mean, I I'm just kind of trying to think maybe what would be the best way to express to students the premise of the software.
Sure.
Yeah, if anyone has any ideas about that before I speak.
So up there where it says Proctorio, ProctorU, or other proctoring software,
Yeah.
I can add in a description there. I can add in more text that explains what the softwares are. If you guys could give me some idea of how to do that.
So if I can speak, Jasmine. So I think as I'm dealing with academic dishonesty cases right now, and some know what the term proctorial is, that it's a product, right? But more so they know what it's intended to do rather than using the product's name proctorial. They know that it is proctoring software.
Well, I do have that up there, or other proctoring software, but I can give a more full description if somebody can help me out with that.
Yeah, I think
I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it is kind of more of a surveillance software that needs to be implemented into whatever you're using, whether it be a desktop or whatever monitor you're using. So I think that part is something that folks should be informed about.
Yeah, Krista, I think your best bet is if you talk to Stephanie or Matt.
Okay, Matt Hennis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll ask them for a description of proctoring software.
Okay, that sounds good. What I was also maybe considering, and maybe this is beyond the boundary of what we can maybe accomplish with the software, or what maybe people will be willing to sit through. But I understand that these companies typically have like demo videos advertising their product, and I don't know if maybe it would be possible to embed a video if students wanted to, play a video about what the product is directly from the vendor, and I don't know if that would be an appropriate thing or if that would be a good idea, if anyone has any insight about that.
Well, the vendor is going to make it seem like this awesome thing that's really good for students. In my opinion, that's what the vendor is going to do if we used a vendor video, which would bias them because they think, oh yeah, this is awesome. Whereas I think we're thinking it's not so awesome. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can see it going both ways. I did look at some vendor videos because I looked up Proctorio and I was reading, like I said, I was reading some articles and I watched a little video and I thought, well, they make this sound like the second coming for online, exams. And I was thinking, I don't think that's what I'm hearing from students. And then I read all the comments that you sent me, Chris, and I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't want that either. So I don't know. I think I would be better off to just provide sort of a generic description of what proctoring software is, and then let the students take it from there. You guys all seem to be pretty bright. So I think if you've had an experience with proctoring software, you have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Okay.
So if you now go ahead and click on next here when they answer no, and I think I showed you this, and so then it just comes to this.
I think proctoring software is invasion of privacy. Okay. Yeah, and I think that would be a good idea to maybe give them a premise or description before.
Sure.
Can I just add a suggestion? And right here in this part, perhaps to add a something where if a student might find it helpful to, if they're notified at registration, when they're registering for the class, if they would find it helpful to know if that course is going to be using Proctorio or not, and in the deciding factor whether they want to take that course.
Yeah, I'm not, that if a faculty member gave us that information, we would know, but they are not required to. I mean, I can talk to Terry and Stephanie about that, but that's outside of my survey.
I believe there's an element of that maybe was embedded in the original. I can't recall, but maybe it was embedded in the original questions we had. But would it be appropriate to ask a question like, if you were given a disclaimer that this type of software would be used in the class, would you take it?
But I
Yes.
kind of said that. I said I would not enroll in a course that used proctoring software.
I see.
Yeah. So I've kind of asked that, but I think what David's saying is we should give students the heads up when they're enrolling in a class that proctoring software is going to be used. And I'm not exactly sure how we would do that. That's kind of outside of me.
Yeah, and I think, David, that's more of a policy and procedure or procedure and practice kind of discussion, and not a survey question discussion. So I think that I did write that down. So I think that is something that when we talk to Stephanie, that's where that's an appropriate discussion. Or
Yeah,
I think something you should raise with Stephanie, because I know they have a committee that they're talking about this regularly.
Yeah, and that's more on the instructional side of the house and scheduling. That's not really, I can't do that. I can't touch their stuff. I can't touch that stuff.
Hi, Crystal.
Oh. Hi, Kelly. Hello.
Hi. I hope you're doing well.
I hope you are too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think this is really good. I think maybe in the case that a student maybe doesn't have an opinion on this, or if they're kind of like, they're not really sure how to respond to something like that, is there a possibility as an option to be like, I don't have a strong opinion about this?
Well, that's where
Or
I
is
think you do the middle one, neither agree or disagree. That puts you at, that
Mm.
kind of puts you at neutral.
I see. Okay. I see. Even if they don't. Okay. I see. Okay. So we're assuming that these students are like educated enough to kind of understand what they're answering.
Well, I think the more important piece is what we talked about earlier is if I give a more robust description of what
Mhm.
proctoring software is at the
Right.
first question, I think maybe they would then be able to answer these.
I see. Okay. Oh, I think maybe. Oh,
But you can disagree with me.
yeah. I think it depends. Like, if I feel like a lot of students, even when they do read the description, they're still gonna be like, okay, like if they haven't actually experienced proctorial, then they won't be able to understand, if it's an invasion of their privacy or how much of an extent it will be to invade, for them to accurately answer if they rather strongly agree or disagree. And also maybe if we can add like a question that asks, am I comfortable with it? Because some people may think that it is an invasion of their privacy, but they're still comfortable with it. Like they think that like, it's necessary or it's okay. Or maybe another one that says, I'm not comfortable with it. And they might not think it's an invasion of their privacy, but they still don't want it to happen in a classroom.
Okay, what if I put a question in here and I can put it on this scale that says, would you be comfortable using a proctoring software?
Yeah, that sounds way better than what I said.
That's okay. Okay, yeah, I can add a question, sure.
Yeah, just so we can kind of gauge like whether or not students are willing to, so it's not so hard in terms of like yes or no.
Sure. I will work on that, absolutely. You want to go on?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, physical. Okay. Yeah, this is a good inclusion here to have. Learning disabilities.
I think I have to put an S on requires there.
So I know we were kind of, on the fence about including a question like this. Is this like what's?
Yeah, this is usually the way I word these because, and I'll tell you why, because I'm not actually, and sometimes they say, well, they want me to ask if you've registered with DSPS or the college knows. This is kind of general and I'm not going to know who they are.
Okay. All right. Sure. Because, speaking about privacy and stuff, I want to make sure we're not violating any like privacy or confidentiality.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason it says simplified up here at the top is because the way I constructed this survey, it would come to you as a link and you could embed it anywhere. And it doesn't go back to a specific student. Now, I have other ways of administering surveys where the link is tied to a specific student. So a student gets a link and that's their version. Once they're done, they're done. Sure. But this one, it's called simplified because you're just going to get a link and you can actually post it anywhere.
Okay, got it. That part at the beginning with the student ID, is that just for testing purposes for this or?
Well, the reason I did it is because, and don't give out my secrets, okay, is in a simplified survey, a student could take this multiple times. Not sure why they would want to, but they could. But by printing the number in the beginning, it just kind of gives them the idea that they're only going to get to take it once, but technically they could take it multiple times. But then I would have an ID number for them each time if I had to sort it out. But
Got it.
like I told you when you did it, you can put any number in there. It'll take it as long as it's 8 digits. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's just kind of a checkpoint, and it's still anonymous because I'm not going to mess with the ID numbers.
Okay.
But
all
I can
right.
take it off if you want me to. It's not a big deal.
Well, at the same time, I know there's been a lot of concern, generally about like people gaming surveys or gaming data. So I want to make sure we're not, potentially having a technical issue on that end too. So if it's something that I think with your judgment is necessary, I think I would defer to that.
The only thing it's going to require them to do is put in an 8-digit number. And so if they decide to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's going to take that.
Got it. Okay.
It's not going to stop them from taking the survey.
Sure.
So if you say no, it takes you to the end. You say any one of the yeses, it's going to take you to this.
Got it.
And now if you say, I actually think I'm going to have to break this up. All right. Well, I'll think about that. So no, that's fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So these are the questions. I think I have to put a break in here. I have to remind myself. So if they say no to that first one, it'll pop them to the end. If it says yes. Yeah, I have to fix this. See, surveys are very complicated.
I think looking at the I think maybe looking at one of the questions here, if I can maybe tweak a word, it says my computer is slow. Maybe it would be a better idea to put my device is slow or unsupported, because I know some people learn, with iPads and mobile devices, and I know Proctorio is not an option on those devices. So
sure, no problem. I could fix that.
I think there's that. But I think overall, I can't thank you enough for creating this and translating what our thoughts and our wants into a survey that we can send out. But yeah, in terms of getting this survey out to students and when the data can be read and what decisions can be made from that, if this kind of software, if this type of software is something that will be used for spring, like what's the timeline for that?
Well, I can work with you on that. The bigger issue for me is how long do you want to keep it out in the field? For a simplified survey, I can't send out prompts. You would just need to maybe put the link somewhere in any of your social media, or I could also ask to have it pop up in Canvas as a universal link and say, hey, please take this privacy survey, student privacy survey. And then, because a student could take it multiple times, I probably would say you don't want to leave it out in the field more than 2 weeks. And then for me to do the analysis of it probably wouldn't take me more than another week. Of course, I say that depending upon how busy I am, but I usually can get it done in a week.
Got it. Seeing that we're approaching the end of fall, I'm just trying to think of a timeline as to if we can parse the data and then make a decision. I mean, at the same time too, I don't know how far we can go with saying this data shows that students don't approve of this, and so the faculty have to defer to that. I don't know if that's something that can be done, or if that's something that is operating procedure when we get data from a survey. But I want your
faculty have this thing called academic freedom, and so how they administer their classes is really up to them. The administration, we don't really have a lot of control over that. I do believe one thing, though. I believe if we get usable results here, I believe that Matt Hennis will take it to the Academic Senate and really have a serious conversation with faculty in the Senate about the use of proctoring software. I've been told that, there are faculty that are clamoring to use it. So I think that as quickly as we possibly can get them to rethink it, would be better.
Mhm.
But can we do a survey and then I hand it to Terry Juni and say you have to stop using Proctorio? That's not going to happen. But I do think that we should try to influence the number of the faculty who are using it, and also get them to think in terms of, okay, so you're going to use a proctoring software, got it, but you need to offer some sort of alternative as well.
Got it. Okay.
And I think that would be a reasonable request to say, we understand, but you're really, a lot of students have sort of saying they feel this is an invasion of their privacy. This chancellor's office has come out with some privacy guidelines for us. So therefore you really, if a student's really uncomfortable, and there are a lot of reasons that may be, that you need to offer some sort of other testing accommodation. I think
Okay,
that's
so
a reasonable thing to ask.
I think that's a good idea too, and I wasn't fully aware of the academic freedom clause or a thing that has that exists. But I think I think it's a good, because then based on what you said, we're basically stacking the book in terms of all this evidence that this is something that strongly would maybe sway their opinion or decisions. So
Well, I think that to some extent, and I'm not really sure because I'm not all that familiar, I think for some it's, I'm going to say this as politely as I possibly can, it's the easy way out to give exams.
sure, yeah.
Okay, and I was as polite as I could say it. I'm sure I could have thought of something politer, and I know that the faculty are really stressed. This has been a very difficult, but I also know that students are very stressed as well. And some of the things that you've told me about Proctorio, I don't think I would be comfortable using Proctorio at all, or a proctoring software, based on the restrictions involved. I mean, I think somebody said that if you look away, it flags it. And it's like, well, that's kind of crazy. But I think we can have a conversation with faculty about, so that they could be conscious of this issue, and they're very creative people, think of other ways to administer exams.
Sure.
And I also think that it then will, regarding the other thing that you guys were talking about earlier, is it will also say to the administration, you know what, we probably need to move a little faster on making like a lab or a study hall or Creveling available for exam taking in particular, or something else. I mean, I think then we have a stronger case to say, we really got to move forward with this. Does that make sense? Am I crazy?
And I
No.
also add the other component for you all, and of why faculty are struggling and looking for some tool to proctor, because the very real reality is that we do have cheating rings of
Stop it.
students on campus that are cheating.
I don't believe you.
I know.
I like them all.
And I like them. You're just cheating. And they are currently trying to figure out how to override Proctorio and other proctoring devices. I mean, I have direct evidence of this. And so, when we talk about privacy, and also, not just the rights of faculty, it is trying to balance this academic integrity within their classrooms, not just asserting their rights. I have complaints from students in classrooms who feel that the cheating that is occurring in their classrooms, particularly in the sciences and math areas, is an unfair advantage, and that the college is not doing anything to alleviate that unfair advantage, because these large numbers of students in some classes are cheating. And it is an organized cheating ring. And also we have a large number of, not a large number, we have, I think it's a pretty significant number of students who are paying other people to take their classes for them. And that having a visual of a student who actually enrolled in your class to make sure they are actually taking the exam at, they are the people taking the exam at the time of their exam. It's difficult when you have 30 or more students, and in larger classes, more than that, for an instructor to scroll through an entire screen of students to monitor. It's hard in person. I have assisted with proctoring in person, and it's hard for instructors, particularly in larger classes, to proctor exams. So we don't want to assume students are cheating, but I can tell you there is a reality that there are some students who are cheating. And instructors really are grasping at a way to create a fair learning environment, fair and equitable learning environment for all students, and to be able to provide an environment where students can safely take exams, but also monitor or deter cheating. So I just wanted to give you that other side of this, as I am investigating one that includes 15 to 30 students right now.
Oh, you said that so nicely. I'm going to let you talk for me all the time now.
In one class. So
in terms of then, because what I don't want to happen is have the survey come back and, obviously the data shows that students do not want this software, but then staff are going to be like, well, what's the alternative, and then just ignore the data or district.
But that's how you get them into a conversation. I mean, faculty really do care what students think. So it just leads to a better conversation about how to make this more comfortable for students. They just need to have something to say, you know what, maybe we need to talk about this. Students are uncomfortable with this. Rebecca's got her cheating issue over here, and that's awesome. Well, it's not awesome, but you know what I mean? But it's hard for us to engage faculty in this conversation if they're not aware about how students feel about it.
Got it.
Can I just also add on here?
I think if you work with them to create options, that's where we're going with this, that you're trying to be data informed, and the college is trying to be data informed on this topic. And so all of us collectively can work together on creating solutions to move forward that that really provide these fair and equitable and safe learning environments. And I think you have a role in that once you become more data informed as well.
Oh, I need special course.
I just want to add on here and say, first of all, to obviously agree with what Dean Cobb was saying, the cheating is obviously a very real and very important aspect to consider, but also this stems from a conversation that I heard out from the virtual visit from the Board of Governors, from one of the student members, and he said, honestly, what's the point of having Proctorio when most students have their phones, most students have another laptop, and so Proctorio, frankly, it doesn't work. I could cheat with my phone if I was taking an exam on math. I can just look up the answers, and so it doesn't resolve the protections against cheating. It just infringes on my privacy, and that's it. And so it's important to take that into consideration and perhaps pursue other forms of exam taking in entirety. But I also wanted to I wanted to see if it was possible for us to also record data on instances where students where their privacy was infringed. So like asking questions, where it says, yes, I had to use Proctorio in my exam, and then also asking, I have faced, being flagged for maybe my brother walking by behind me, because students live with their families and they have brothers and siblings and whatnot, or some people take their exams in public. I work at Starbucks, so I see students taking their exams outside at Starbucks, and obviously there's people walking by. So maybe asking a question, I have been flagged for people in public walking behind me, and that wouldn't be fair. So I think if we record these instances and if we get the real data on where students' privacy have actually been infringed, I think that would also be something that would inform our conversations.
So Chris, can you go back a couple of screens?
Sure.
Let me see. One more, I think. Say yes. There you go. And then next. So what if I added on here possibly an open-ended question that asked that, can you tell us about some specific instances where you felt your privacy was being invaded by a proctoring software? Is that what you're looking for, David?
Yeah, I think that would be perfect.
Okay.
And then I guess to also maybe play devil's advocate here, would it be appropriate to then have a question asking students, have you heard of or seen instances of cheating and you know what they were, and they can kind of free response. Their I mean, is that something that maybe we can do to kind of maybe help detect some, you know, instances and kind of, you know, have actual real world scenarios that we can consider when we're giving alternatives?
Can you go to the next page for me?
Sure.
Let me see. Just click. You don't have to fill them in. Just click next. These
Oh,
aren't
okay.
required. Yeah. Okay, go back for me now. Previous. Okay. All right. So I would have to add in another page here, which I could do. Because I think you would want to ask that question of people who both have used proctoring software and those that haven't.
Hmm.
So I can do that. I can add another question page in here.
Because I think this then will be an avenue for, you know, what Dean Cobb was saying about students wanting to give feedback or wanting to express their, you know, their dissatisfaction with the fact that some are having an unfair advantage. This would be kind of a way for them to communicate why they feel that way is to us.
Okay.
But also at the same time, you know, I feel like maybe I'm adding a lot of more work and content into the survey, but also, you know, I know a lot of the faculty are, like you said, are very creative in coming up with alternative ways of assessing students. So I don't know if it will also be then appropriate to then on the other end of this, ask students, what are ways that your professor has assessed your learning in other ways, in ways other than proctoring a traditional exam. I don't know, maybe then that will be also a good addition to have, if anybody has any thoughts about that.
I'm writing a question. Okay, let me see if I can come up with something along that line.
Because I think maybe that will then give us good data in terms of what professors are actually doing in a real world in terms of alternatives of you know, assessing students, and then we can maybe expand on those and give those as actual alternatives. But that's what I was thinking as well.
Sure.
Oh,
You know what? And I think that's a good idea because it's always good to come in with solutions
mhm.
and to be able to put those out to other faculty members that hear what some of your colleagues are doing. I think that's a good idea. Okay. All right. I actually have to go on to another meeting, so I've got like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to ask me?
That's it. I appreciate you coming.
My pleasure.
There's a lot of questions in the chat here about AS approving this and moving forward with this, and Jordan being part of privacy group wanting another maybe in-depth conversation with the working group about this. So I think maybe where we can go from here is maybe give you some time to take account of the feedback that was given during the discussion, and then maybe schedule another time for the privacy group to meet.
Yeah,
and then
sure. That sounds great. I'll work on what you asked me to correct and add in here, and then I can meet with the privacy group and we can run through it again and see if you think that meets your needs.
Yeah, and then I know Stephanie isn't here, but then when she comes back during next meeting, maybe, you know, if we get it refined before then, we can also we can return this conversation this discussion item and have it with her.
Sure.
Um,
I just administer surveys. I know. Okay, anything else?
Thank you again, Crystal.
Oh yeah, my pleasure.
For your patience and engagement.
Yeah, no, happy to do it. Happy to do it. I'm hoping to have it all wrapped up for you pretty soon so we can get it out there. Get some ideas going. Do I get to go now?
Is AS going to take action on this today?
This
It's a discussion. It's a discussion.
Oh, it's a discussion item? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Crystal, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
and
thank
again,
you.
let me just give a little shout out to your colleague here, Christina, for serving on the VP hiring committee. A lot of work for her. She did an awesome job. So let's give her a big round of applause for that because that's a lot of work. So thank you. All right. Got to run. Talk to y'all soon. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
All right. Any other questions, comments before we move forward to the next item? All right, sounds good. So the next line here is action item C, invited guests. Is there any invited guests in the lobby at the moment?
There are no invited guests for today.
Okay, and so we can move forward with action item or discussion item D, AS training. Is there any AS training today?
So I just want to leave you all with one thing. If I can share my screen, Chris. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, which has very traditionally been about the founding people and, you know, this whole idea of Americana and where it came from. But we tend to not acknowledge the people who were here, and which is why I'm so excited. Like 2 years ago when I started working with AS, we talked about doing land acknowledgements. And so AS has been acknowledged across the campus as the folks who really started this whole conversation. So I hope you're really proud that you're leading by example. As part of that, I did want to further the discussion and just give you this website and challenge you all to now go beyond the words of a land acknowledgement to see how do we make this really real for folks. So part of it is information. So hopefully you all can see my screen. I think if I did it right. And did I do it right? Yeah. So the Catch is another group of folks. We talk about the Tongva. And the Gabrielino Band of Mission Indians is actually the name, the anglicized name for the Hahamanga. So they're all interrelated, but this is one piece of information that I'm going to encourage you all to take the time to privately just learn and grow and expand your own knowledge about who is here. And then, you know, when we come back in winter or over winter, maybe I will challenge you all to see how do we make this much more a reality, that it's just not we're playing lip service to saying, okay, these are the folks that were here. I think if we really want to be authentic in our leadership and authentic in our words, I would encourage you to go beyond just saying, hey, these folks were here and now we're here, you know, and it doesn't need to be a lot, but I think, you know, folks deserve recognition. And as leaders, really to challenge you all to say, what else can we do? Is it something that we do a training on? Is it we invite people to speak? Is it that we add something to our website so folks can expand their knowledge? So give me this little bit of information and hopefully we can talk more about it and you all can run with it and learn a lot more and share a lot more and be awesome leaders that you all are. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Carrie. And I also want to add to that honoring the land is an important part of decolonial practices and overall just honoring the planet and the land we sit on. And so we can move forward with appointment to college-wide committees. Is there anything that goes here? No? Okay, we'll move forward with appointment to AS committees. Anyone
I have
do
some.
Awesome.
So I'd like to appoint to the AS Sustainability Committee, Chaewon Beck and Eugene Song. Thank you.
Is there anything else needed for this appointment?
Nope. You just appoint them and move on.
Awesome. So moving forward with bill acceptance.
Oh, okay. So not yet, but we're in the process of collecting data from Office of Institutional Effectiveness. Ms. Crystal Colrosh just came in, so hopefully we'll be getting some data. I sent her a more specific list, so we're going from broad to specific, so then we can really narrow down what kind of bills that we want. And this is with the lobby committee, but that's just an update on that.
Amazing. Thank you, Kelly. Moving forward to approval of ICC funding.
No requests have been turned in, so there's nothing to approve.
Awesome. Thank you. And is there any public comment on non-agenda items?
No, only Chris and I are watching. No comment.
Awesome. Thank you both. And any announcements?
Jasmine, I did want to say one thing. So as a part of SCCC, we were appointed to these committees, as David has mentioned before. There's this thing called the Assist Committee, which I'm on, which is really interesting because I know like everyone who's transferring has probably used it at some point in their lives. We were talking about like reformatting it and making it more accessible because I know when I use it, it's very confusing. They want you to put in your institution, but then also ask for the institution you're transferring to, but there's no like differentiation. So there's a lot of technical things that I think maybe you guys have opinions on. You can just text me or email me what you think, and I'll bring it back to the committee so we can like really change that website because it's like a find your own adventure book at this point. But yeah, thank you.
Can you post that website in the chat?
Oh yes, let me do that.
Thank you, Kelly. Any other public comment on that? Or sorry, any other announcements?
Yeah, just really quick, I put in the chat, but I may be able to get in contact with a few tribal or council members from several Native American tribes throughout the US, but specifically here in California, since California has the most Native American tribes within the entire United States. I also may be able to get some Lakota speakers from North Dakota since COVID is raging over there, and they are one of the most affected populations for it, as well as the Navajo and Hopi nations. So I will try to do that within the next couple of weeks. It can be quite difficult because I have to go through people that work with these tribal members. So, but I will, if somebody can hold me accountable to that, I can keep updating and see what I can do. And maybe we can have an event or something like Carrie had suggested with these members and so forth. So.
I have an announcement. Christopher, are you able to pull up the picture I uploaded to the chat and possibly share that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
While Chris is pulling that up, I just want to remind you, University Night is tomorrow from 5 to 7. So if you're still looking around, it's tomorrow.
So
Thank you. So I just want to introduce this opportunity that has been presented through the First Club and the core program, as well as another program called Prison Education Program. I currently assist in that program where I help in a yoga and meditation class for incarcerated individuals at the Riverside Boys Juvenile Hall. It's a 7-week course, and also a correspondence class on intro to autobiography for folks that are incarcerated that might be able to see a parole board in the future, and help develop a book, having it published and sold through Amazon in order to support the participant. PCC has been included into prison education programs a list of schools where USC, Pitzer, Cal Poly Pomona, and other schools in California are presenting the opportunity for their students to assist in these volunteer opportunities. There will be an intro to social justice, intro to wellness, intro to food justice course presented. There is that Google form available if you're interested in getting more information or signing up, hoping to start in spring of 2021. And please feel free to share that with your friends, family, all answers possibly. And this class is specific to PCC students, but there are other opportunities where you don't have to be a student in order to assist. Thank you.
So yeah, if you can just drop that Google form in the chat, please. This is an amazing volunteer opportunity to empower others to become liberated through education, and also to teach, to each one teach one, right? We can all learn from each other's perspectives and experiences. So this is an awesome opportunity. Thank you for bringing this up, Emmanuel. Any other announcements?
I just want to change something that Carrie said. Carrie said that University Night's tomorrow. It's actually tonight. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. I just need to clarify for anybody who thought it would be tomorrow based on Carrie's statement, so they know that if they don't come today from 5 to 7, they're going to miss it.
Sorry, I lose track of the days.
Thank you for clarifying that, Kyle. Alrighty. Any other announcements before we move forward? Awesome. Is it okay to?
I have an announcement, Jasmine. Is it your birthday? Oh my God.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Can we sing, or is this sing to have it on the are we allowed to sing during this time?
You certainly can.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha. Happy birthday to you.
Be a student FP.
So beautiful with her nice bob haircut. Happy
Oh my God.
you. Yay!
Wow.
Thank you. Alrighty. All right. Thank you. Gotta love the Zoom vibes. Is there anything else before we conclude our meeting? All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I move.
Second.
You. Did I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. So we can move forward with the roll call vote. Alex?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Kelly?
Hi.
Christina?
Hi.
Thank you. Philly?
Aye.
Kyle?
Aye.
Emmanuel?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Luis?
Aye.
And David?
Aye.
Did I hear an aye?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, so the meeting is adjourned at 1:47 p.m. and that concludes our meeting. Thank you so much, everyone, for bearing with me and for the collective teamwork that we always pull through with. Thank you all.
Woohoo, good job, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Let
That
me
was
take us
not
off
bad.
live.
Thanks for stepping up. Really, no notice. That was awesome.
Philly or Michael, you're next.
Yep.
Hey, at
Man,
least we get the advance notice though, right? No.
Yeah. You got some advance notice. Jasmine didn't get any, but it's good practice for you all, especially